The Caucasian European Jews/Ashkenazis own some of the ghettos that the Black PPL and Latinos, Israelites, live in. This particular hood in NC has been passed around to different Jews over and over again. The people here have been forced to live in deplorable conditions such as burst pipe sewage coming out baths and carpet, roaches, and bed bugs. It has even been said that the companies who were sent to spray in the neighborhood made the problem. So the Jews who own the neighborhoods got companies to spray chemicals that attract more bugs. The owners have been promising to remodel the neighborhood since 2016, but till this day the neighborhood still hasn't been torn down and remodeled. All they've done was take out the carpet and put in hardwood floors so the mold can't come through. Keep in mind, all dark-skinned PPL are not Israelites, just transatlantic slave trade descendants all over the world. Some Israelites migrated to Africa and are still there, like the Cushites, Agbos, and some Bantus. But the main focus is the 12 lost tribes, not the Israelites who know who they are. Welcome to Rolling Hills Apartments, where you can find comfortable, safe, and affordable living for your family. Our community features a collection of two-story apartment homes with mix of 1-, 2- and 3- and 4-bedroom residences. We are located close to downtown Winston-Salem, dining and shopping. Our professional staff looks forward to providing you with the highest standard of professional property management and are committed to improving the communities where we live and work. It's a great place to call home. Stuart Heller founded Monroe Group Limited in 1982 with a management agreement for a single 81-unit affordable housing property. Under Heller's leadership, Monroe Group has continued to flourish and grow. Heller also joined Chad Asark and Hud Karshomer to establish Steel Properties, Monroe Group's development and acquisition partner company, in 2006. Heller is certified by the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority in low-income housing tax credit compliance, is a member of the Rocky Affordable Housing Management Association, and is a certified specialist in housing credit management by the National Affordable Housing Management Association. The National Assisted Housing Management Association has certified Heller as an NAHP executive. He is also a member of the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials. Heller, a lifelong Denver resident, has been a licensed real estate broker in the state of Colorado since. Chad Asark joined the Monroe Group in 2006 after founding Steel Properties, Monroe Group's development and acquisition partner company, with Hud Karshomer and Stuart Heller. Prior to Monroe Group and Steel Properties, Asark served as Senior Vice President and Associate General Counsel at Apartment Investment and Management Company, AIMCO, NYSE, AIV. While at AIMCO, Asark served as Secretary of its Investment Committee, negotiated the closings of over $5 billion in sales and acquisitions, oversaw all legal issues related to property operations, and managed its 20-person legal department. Asark is active in numerous civic and philanthropic organizations including Jewish Colorado, 2007 Young Leader Award, the Colorado Jewish Community Relations Council, past chair, 2017 Community Leadership Award, and APAC, National Council Colorado Political Chair. In 2012, he joined the University of Colorado Law School as an adjunct law professor teaching real estate transactions, serving as a member of the University of Colorado Law School Curriculum Advisory Board, and is teaching at the University of Denver School of Law. Chad also serves on the Federal Home Loan Bank of Topeka Affordable Housing Advisory Council. Asark also serves as a strategic advisor for BY Aerospace, a leading-edge aviation company focused on high-altitude solar-electric unmanned aerial vehicles and electric-powered aircraft, and Staffable Uganda, a social impact employment company operating in Eastern Africa. Asark graduated from Williams College cum laude with honors and from the University of Michigan Law School magna cum laude and Order of the Coif. Having served as a contributing editor for the Michigan Law Review, Hud Karshomer has been a principal at the Monroe Group since 2004. Karshomer also created a partnership with Chad Asark and Stuart Heller to form Steel Properties, Monroe Group's development and acquisition partner company in 2006. Karshmer's previous experience includes various director-level positions with Quest Communications, where his primary focus was new products and features development. Prior to joining Quest, Karshomer was vice president of business development for a high-end technology product firm, whose customers included IBM and Microsoft. Karshomer holds an MBA from Arizona State University and a BA from the University of California at Berkeley. Karshomer served on the board of Housing Justice, a nonprofit whose mission is to educate. David Asark joined Monroe Group and Monroe's sister company, Steel Properties, in 2008 as general counsel and became partner in 2016. Asark has been instrumental in the company's growth, helping Monroe more than double its portfolio and closing over $1 billion in acquisitions, sales, financings, and tax credit transactions. He was named Best Corporate Counsel, Rising Star by the Denver Business Journal in 2011. Asark currently serves on the Board of Visitors of Stanford Law School and the Rose Community Foundation Jewish Life Committee. He served for 10 years on the Board of Directors of Jewish Family Service of Colorado, where he also served on the Executive Committee and as Treasurer. He graduated magna cum laude from Middlebury College and received his Juris Doctor, J.D., from Stanford Law School. Justin Boyd is president of Monroe Group Limited and its development partner Steel Properties LLC effective as of March 2021, after serving as general counsel for the companies since 2016. Under his leadership of the legal department, Boyd has supported the acquisition team in completing over 40 capital transactions totaling over $680 million in transaction costs, strengthened relationships with our lenders, investors, and other partners, led our risk management. Andrew Higdon is the Chief Accounting Officer for Monroe Group. Higdon leads the finance/accounting and human resources teams, and is a member of the executive leadership team that guides the company's strategic planning and decision-making. Prior to joining Monroe Group, Higdon was Senior Vice President and Chief Accounting Officer at Apartment Investment and Management Company, AIMCO, a Denver-based real estate investment trust, REIT, and one of the largest owners and operators of apartment homes in the county. Higdon joined AIMCO in 2000. Lisa Trujillo joined the Monroe Group in 2017 with over 20 years of affordable housing experience. She began her career on-site before rising quickly into leadership roles. Trujillo built. Michelle Austin joined Monroe Group as General Counsel in 2021 and directs the legal functions of Monroe and its development partner Steel Properties. She has over 15 years of experience. Jill Whitmore directs and manages the accounting, financial reporting, and investor relations functions. She ensures that all deliverables and commitments are met with investors and other external partners. Whitmore joined Monroe Group in 2015 after working as director. Jason Van Ernam oversees all construction activities and property rehabilitations for Monroe Group's development partner, Steel. Christy Downing directs the compliance department for Monroe Group, where she oversees the property's HUD and low-income housing tax. Alicia Hunsinger is Director of Operations, Atlantic Division. She is based in Charlotte, and Tony Tates joined Monroe Group in 2018 and is based in Houston, Texas with 25-plus years of affordable housing experience specializing in LITC, PB. Rundown: substandard apartments have dominated a slow news cycle this summer. It's rare for the plight of poor renters to garner much attention in Winston, a city that care much more about developers than renters. You might have thought slum were a thing of the past, but they're a problem that the City of Arts and Innovation hasn't eliminated. Deplorable conditions at New Hope Manor Apartments. Located off Cleveland Avenue and Rolling Hills Apartments, located off of New Walkertown Road, are an embarrassment to the city. They're yet another example that as downtown Winston flourishes, East Winston is being left behind. City leaders, to their credit, are searching for ways to improve conditions at both New Hope Manor and Rolling Hills. For the last 2 months, the city has aggressively inspected apartment units at both properties and found plumbing issues, insect infestation, bed bugs, and various other code violations. They have even moved some residents of Rolling Hills into new temporary apartments at the city's expense. But it's a shame that the city spent much of the last year trying to accumulate enough nuisance violations in order to close down Winston's last downtown strip club instead of addressing deteriorating conditions in the city's aging low-income apartments. City leaders share in a portion of the blame for the conditions at New Hope Manor and Rolling Hills. Let's not forget they approved the sale of both properties to the owners that they are now chastising. The Housing Authority of Winston-Salem, HAWS, has proposed buying New Hope Manor, demolishing some of the apartments and remodeling the units that are left, converting them to mixed-income housing. HAWS would like to integrate New Hope Manor into its ambitious plan to redevelop Cleveland Avenue. Rolling Hills' current owner is in the process of selling Rolling Hills to a real estate company who would spend over $40,000 per unit to essentially rebuild the place. Both New Hope Manor and Rolling Hills apartments are powerful examples of how Section 8 housing is failing the very people who need it. For decades, the federal government has been moving away from public housing. Reagan put the brakes on public housing. Bill Clinton undermined public housing further when he introduced Hope 6 reforms in the early 1990s. The Hope 6 Demolish Project, as PJ Harvey has labeled it, has torn down thousands of public housing units across the country. Here in Winston, public housing in the Kimberly Park and Happy Hill neighborhoods was replaced with the Hope 6. The razing of Happy Hill with little regard for Winston's oldest African-American neighborhood is particularly upsetting. New Hope Manor and Rolling Hills apartments demonstrate that the private sector is happy to receive government funds and tax breaks, but don't ask them to care about low-income housing. HAWS has enthusiastically encouraged private sector ownership of low-income housing units. HAWS loves the market, but the market has let low-income renters in Winston down. Speaking of the market, New Hope Manor is owned by two stanch Republicans, Robert Crumley and Nathan Tabor. It's funny how the right stops complaining about big government when it's their turn to get generous government subsidies. Crumley and Tabor claim that they have tried to keep New Hope Manor apartments up to code. They say that they're frustrated that one management company after another has been unable to turn New Hope Manor around. I wonder how many times Crumley and Tabor have actually been to New Hope Manor? When is the last time either of them stepped foot on the property? Absentee ownership is a central problem, both at New Hope Manor and Rolling Hills. Rolling Hills is currently owned by the Aspen Company, located in New Jersey. If the full city council approves the sale of Rolling Hills, the apartments will be acquired by a real estate conglomerate based in Colorado. Low-income housing shouldn't be part of a large real estate conglomerate's portfolio. It should be community-owned and community-ran. The new owners of Rolling Hills are getting a complex assortment of financial incentives and guarantees, tax breaks, bonds, etc. They are pledging to rebuild and transform Rolling Hills. They have a powerful financial incentive to turn Rolling Hills. The Winston-Salem Police Department is seeking information about a Monday night shooting that left one person dead and 2 others injured. Police said that a family member tried to get Kelvin Raven James Jr., 23, to medical treatment following the incident at Rolling Hills Apartments on Farrell Court, but stopped at a nearby Wells Fargo to call 911 and request help. Police said James died at the scene. Additionally, police said 2 women, including a 16-year-old, were shot. Police said investigators did not believe they were targeted and did expect them to recover from their injuries. Investigators said there was a disturbance in a breezeway and the 2 females were unintentionally hit. According to Forsyth County Emergency Services, 2 ambulances and an EMS supervisor were dispatched to 750 Farrell Court on Monday. Assistant Chief Brian Gallimore said 2 patients were emergently transported with life-threatening injuries to the Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist Health Emergency Department. According to data from the Winston-Salem Police Department, officers have received calls for service to Farrell Court 420 times. An apartment complex that City of Winston-Salem officials said had nearly 100 violations including pest infestations and raw sewage has been acquired in a $12.3 million deal. Officials from the Monroe Group, based in Denver, Colorado, announced Tuesday they also plan to renovate Rolling Hills apartments at 770 Farrell Court off New Walkertown Road. The renovations are expected to begin in January and be completed in about a year. The renovations will cost nearly $43,000 per unit and will include upgraded plumbing and sewer line repairs, new flooring, new exterior doors and a gate, company officials said. The 110-unit complex was built in 1971 and consists of low-income Section 8 housing. WXII first reported on issues at the complex in June, and Mayor Alan Joines said in July that former owner, the Aspen companies hadn't made nearly enough progress since a nuisance abatement complaint was filed in February. Joines also noted in July that Aspen was looking to sell the property. In October, City Council approved $7.5 million in tax-exempt bonds to help Monroe take over and renovate the property. Carolyn Foster is 24 years old. Her mother died in September, so now Foster is caring for her 6 younger brothers and sisters. All 7 of the Fosters live in a 4-bedroom apartment in Rolling Hills complex in eastern Winston-Salem. And since her mother's death, Foster said she has been dealing with problem after problem at the complex. In January, she found mold in her closet and her bathtub. They just came in and painted over it, Foster added. In April, the toilet and bathtubs backed up with sewage. It flooded my entire apartment, she said. We had to throw away a lot of stuff. It took them a week to come out. They took up the carpet, but for 2 weeks, my floor was just concrete. Foster's is not the only apartment that has had such problems, and residents say the management is not responding to their concerns. Chiquita Duncan lives upstairs from Foster. She's had similar problems in her apartment in the nearly 4 years she's lived at Rolling Hills. Her ceiling has fallen in, her bathroom flooded with sewage, and her electricity doesn't always work because of water damage. After the sewage came up, some plumbers came and put a camera down my toilet, she said. They said it's just broken up pieces of pipe.